Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Adam Schefter here for Vivid Seats, your ultimate destination for all your sports and concert needs this summer. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every home run and thrilling comeback in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Visit VividSeats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window. Now is the time to take advantage of their huge end of summer sale and get ready for the fall. Right now, all windows are 35% off. All exterior doors are 40% off. Now you get the whole door, just the price is 40% off. And get this, 0% interest for 18 months, as in no interest, nada, none. As always, the estimates are free, as is the lifetime warranty. To make an appointment, go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
This is Steve Moulton for Tellini's Italiano. Tellini's Italiano is located right in front of the Walmart, right off of University, behind the McDonald's. More or less catty corner from Topgolf. It's one of my favorite places to go to, and if you go there, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you need to try the baked spaghetti, add a meatball. Also try the baked ziti with meat sauce, add sausage. You'll thank me. Save room for some pizzas and paninis as well. And don't forget about dessert as well. The best cheesecake I have had here in North Alabama is at Tellini's Italiano. Find out for yourself today. That's Tellini's Italiano, right off of University Drive in front of the Walmart. Located online at Tellinis.com. That's TELLINIS.com. Let's get some Tellini's tonight.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
All right, there we go. Let's see if we got that one up there. There we are. Now we're off. We're rolling. We're back. We're live. We're brand new. It's Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 7 o'clock on the dot. Safe travels into work, into school, wherever you may be headed on this Tuesday morning. 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines if you would like to join the program this morning. A lot of college football conversation. Even going to slip in a little basketball/golf conversation here in just a little bit. plenty of other stuff to get through as well. I want to figure out why this thing is doing what it's doing. Yesterday, we talked about we're going to hear from Hugh Freeze today. We've got to hear from Nick Saban. We get to hear from Ed Orgeron as well, as the old coach wants to get back in to the college football game. So we'll check in with that. But college football naming starting quarterbacks all over the country. And our good friend Nick Kelly kind of also putting this out there in just in simple terms. But Ohio State naming Julian Sayin their starting quarterback yesterday. So now, Drew, from that 2023 Rose Bowl team, there are 6 quarterbacks, past, present, or future college starters that were there for that practice. Jalen Milroe, Ty Simpson, Eli Holstein, Dylan Lonergan, Tyler Buckner, and Julian Sayin. All from that one practice. I mean, all from the 2023 Rose Bowl practice time. 6 different quarterbacks.
Yep, Nick Saban could recruit, no doubt about it. And they had a lot of good players. Holstein was a really good player out of Louisiana, who's become a frontline starter at Pitt. Julian Sayin was, by some people, thought the number 1 quarterback in the country. He was at Alabama for 2 weeks, and then once Nick Saban retired and he and his family didn't connect with DeBoer, they decided to go to Ohio State. So he's going to go be the next in line with the Buckeyes and be surrounded by a lot of talent with Ryan Day and the defending national champs. Really good player. And now, of course, and we know at Boston College with Bill O'Brien, I mean, we know that that'll be another former Alabama with Dylan Lonergan going there, who I think showcased a lot of tools. Wouldn't be surprised if he's a really good player, and hopefully his predecessor will get his ass beat by Alabama.
Coming up here in just a few minutes, UAH head basketball coach Mick Hedgepeth will join the show. We're going to talk a little golf, little UAH summer basketball as they get ready for the Willis A. Cuff golf tournament. And because it's Division II basketball, the transfer portal never really closes, so they can get anybody at any time, but the roster could always be revolving. But we'll talk to Coach here in just a couple minutes.
Total rebuild, man, but it's exciting. Year 2 for Mick Hedgepeth. I mean, he had one of the best years in school history last year in year 1, going 32-2, and we call that the Crimson Panther. And then and they had a tremendous season, and really probably only one team in the country definitively better than them, and that was the national champions, Nova Southeastern. But they were outstanding, and now he's completely rebuilt the roster. I believe you'd be maybe better to answer this than me, but I think his coaching staff came back intact, which is huge. A lot of continuity there, and I know they were excited about their mix of high school and transfer portal signees. So it'll be neat to talk to Coach about. And again, they've just now got to campus. They haven't really started in. I know they've been doing a little bit of stuff this summer, and they've had their summer camps and stuff like that. But really going to start grinding, getting ready for the season. But I'm sure they're super excited about how this group's coming together.
All right, we'll have Coach here in just a little bit. But again, he's also coming and talking the Willis A. Cuff Golf Tournament. Registration is now live for that. Mm-hmm. It's on September 29th, 11:30 a.m., Huntsville Country Club. So if you'd like to help UAH basketball, if you'd like to be a part of all that, if you want to just get out and play a round of golf, if you're looking for tournaments or scrambles to play in, 11:30 a.m., September 29th, at the Huntsville Country Club. You can go ahead and be a part of that. So there you go.
256-576-4977. That's the number if you want to reach out to us. We'll also check in with Hugh Freeze this morning. Some quarterback talk there as well. But a lot of stuff to get through here on a Tuesday morning. Talent Heating and Air helping us also this morning, 256-503-4490. Let their talent do some work for you. It's Talent Heating and Air. They're serving Huntsville and the surrounding areas. You can give Thomas, Terry, Jeremy a call. If you call, they will answer. Tune-up, system installation, indoor air quality, natural gas, service repair, and duct work, all available from Talent Heating and Air. Yesterday, Hugh Freeze spending some time visiting with the media as well. And he was talking about the quarterbacks, talking about the situation going into Baylor, and was asked if you could see all three quarterbacks against Baylor. And he said, yeah, you could. But then later on.
And if you do, he's fired.
Well, look,
give me a damn break. They're not going to play three quarterbacks against Baylor.
I mean, if they're up by 30 or 40, I mean, you might rotate
unless
a couple
they're
in.
up by 30.
Yeah. But then he was also, at the same breath, he was also asked about the evolution of Deuce Knight, how he's come along, how he's progressed.
I'll just say this. If Jackson Arnold is not the real deal, then Hugh might as well sell his house and get the hell out because he better be.
Yeah.
Okay. There's not going to be no Deuce Knight. Deuce Knight is not ready to play in the SEC as a true freshman. Jackson Arnold better be the real deal, or there will be a new leader in the clubhouse for the Auburn Tigers. His ass will be gone.
Well, hold that thought, because
our producer already thinks he's gone.
Because hold that thought, because.
And I think they're going to have a much better team. I'm not predicting him to be fired, but this garbage. Oh, you might see three quarterbacks. Well, you better hope you're up 30 or 40.
Yes.
And if you're talking up Deuce Knight, then are you doing your job with Jackson Arnold? Okay?
Well, and he was talking about Deuce Knight, and it's all to your point. We will hear from Hugh Freeze later in the program about the evolution so far of Deuce Knight, but what he's got a lot to work on, and Hugh Freeze points all of this out. But we got to switch back to college basketball because the second year head coach of the UAH Chargers kind enough to join us.
Absolutely. Mick Hedgepeth, as he is going to preview this upcoming fundraiser for UAH, this Acuff Willis golf tournament, which is always a big event for them. And, of course, talk a little UAH basketball because, look, this is a very exciting time coming off of a historic season, a Gulf South Conference, a regular season and tournament championship, an Elite Eight, and a Sweet 16 berth that was, they nearly made the Elite Eight in the national tournament. Just a very special season, and now going to try to build on that. And it's great to talk some off-season UAH with the second-year head basketball coach, Mick Hedgepeth. Coach, it's great to be back with you. You're with Scott and Drew. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's great to be back with you as well. Looking forward to spending a little time together.
It feels like we are in the middle of summer, but
we are.
I mean, the kids are the guys are back on campus. It's kind of an exciting time of year, right?
Oh, it's really exciting. Especially with as many new guys as we have to finally have our entire roster all together, and we'll do our team meeting and fun activities this week with a little wiffle ball, pickleball, things like that, and then we'll get to it next week with some conditioning and some practice. So certainly thrilled to have everyone back on campus.
Well, I mean, is Scott going to be a ringer in your pickleball event?
I've heard he and Coach Henschel would be a pretty good battle, so we may have to make that happen.
Yeah,
well,
Coach.
I mean, he won a bronze medal.
Coach is pretty good. Coach Henschel's pretty good. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, Coach, that's a good segue. How big is it to have your staff coming back intact for year two?
It's really big. Both Josh Henschel, Alex Maston did a phenomenal job for us last year, and I got the job, and about 3 assistants left me. So we had plenty of turnover last summer. So I think I earned it. I hate to say that, but I think we earned one summer for both guys to stay. And no, but they just in so many areas, from X's and O's and in-game coaching to recruiting, logistics, and then they're both just really, really good with the guys, which is maybe the most important thing, and spending time with them and investing in them. So very thankful to have Josh and Alex back on board.
For those that may not know, kind of fill everyone in, exactly how many new guys are on the roster this year?
We have 10 new players, 5 transfers and 5 freshmen, along with 8 returners.
So that's, as I was telling Scott before you came on, that's huge turnover. But we knew that. I mean, this is a veteran group that you inherited, but you got to be excited to kind of build this group. It's a lot of new energy.
Yeah, that's exciting. I think it's a little bit of a different feel than last year, right? When you return, an awful lot, and have those kind of high expectations, and maybe kind of understand what some roles will be going into the season. I think there's a lot of spots up for grabs. There will be a lot of iron sharpening iron mentality, and I'm looking forward to some of those preseason battles. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we want to talk more about what lies ahead, but we also want to talk about the Willis Acuff Golf Tournament, something that is big for this program. And in today's age of college athletics, you got to do anything you can. And this Willis Acuff Golf Tournament, it's got some big names there, Willis Acuff. So it's a huge event. September 29th at 11:30 a.m., Huntsville Country Club.
Yeah, it's been going on, I think, this is the maybe 6th or 7th year that this tournament has taken place, and we had a great turnout last year. I believe we had 22 teams, and we were able to have our entire team work the tournament and be celebrity putters and that type of thing, and spend a lot of time with everyone who attends. And as you mentioned, it's just a great fundraiser for us to be able to operate and give our guys the best student athlete experience that we can possibly give them. So yeah, it's at 11:30. Registration and lunch will start then. It's a 1:00 shotgun start at Huntsville Country Club on September 29th. And you can play as an individual, you can put in a team. We have sponsorship opportunities with a lot of value there, with courtside seats and signage and advertising opportunities. And then we're actually adding for the first time this year, because we have a lot of alums and other folks who travel into town for that. The day before, Sunday, September 28th, we're doing a tip-off banquet, which we've never done before, and it's we're doing a Q&A segment with 4 really notable alums, and should be a lot of fun there as well. So we have some of that information on all of our social media sites if you wanted to RSVP for either of those events.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be some great times, and a great way for the fans and supporters to connect with the new guys. And of course, as you said, some of these guys are returning, but didn't play big roles. They're going to expand, but you've got a lot of new faces. How much work have you been able to do with them this summer? Were they there to help you with your camps at all? How did that work on the Division II level? I know you see a lot of stuff in June and July on the Division I level. How does that work with the Chargers in Division II, especially when you're having to rebuild this roster the way you are, Coach?
Yeah, per NCAA Division II rules, we're not allowed to do provide any technical instruction on the court with a basketball with these guys in the summer. So yes, we were able to see a lot of them, as we had 3 weeks of of youth camps on campus, but we weren't able to be on the court or practice or anything like that. They played some pickup on their own, but that was pretty much the extent of it. So we'll really starting next week, start trying to get a feel just for each of our players, the jumps that the returners made, the new guys and how they fit in, and then how everyone kind of gels together. So we're looking forward to that.
All right. If anybody wants to be a part of the golf tournament, if they're listening this morning, driving around town, driving into work, best way for them to be a part of it?
We have QR codes online. I think it's on X and on Instagram, or you can just go to our website. It has been released on our website, and you can go sign up online there. If you just go to UAH men's basketball or even Google Willis Acuff Golf Tournament, it'll pop up, and you can sign up yourself or your team.
And Coach, is the schedule completely done?
It is done. Yep, it is published. And then while we're talking about fundraising opportunities, I'm going to go ahead and our last one that is on our schedule. We are going to scrimmage our alumni again on October 19th, Sunday afternoon at 4:00. Last year it ended in a tie, 92-92.
Wow.
So we're going to do that again. We're going to, maybe charge like $10 admission just for a fundraiser, but should be a great opportunity to come in early and get a feel for our team, as well as see our alumni. And I think we're going to do our championship ring ceremony prior to that as well, because we'll have some guys from last year's team playing for the alumni. So should be a lot of fun.
That'll make it even a little spicier.
Absolutely. We got to be careful. We can't, we want it to be competitive, but not, a lot of trash talking is on the line. A lot of bragging rights for the years on the line. So that's a fun day.
You got to take it easy on the alumni, though. I mean, some of them
they've got to take it easy on
us. Oh, Mick Hedgepeth, UAH head basketball coach, kind enough to join us this morning, previewing the Willis Acuff Golf Tournament coming your way September 29th at the Huntsville Country Club, and then kind of what lies ahead with UAH basketball and coach too. I mean, also there'll be an exhibition game. It's really cool. I don't remember the last time I've seen the two play, but there'll be an exhibition game with Alabama A&M on the docket.
Acuff years, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, that'll be Monday, October 27th. It'll actually be a double header with our women's teams as well. Over at their new arena. So I actually haven't been over there yet. I've heard it's really nice. And
it's a great facility.
Should be a good opportunity for a number of folks within the community to come see two local teams here in Huntsville. And, I know our guys are looking forward to being able to play a Division I opponent. And, hopefully we can go hang with them. So it'll be a good challenge for us. To kind of see how we measure up early on.
Yeah, I mean that'll be really neat and be good for the city. And like you said, going to be at a great venues. I've been to some games over there, high school games, and I've been in the arena several times. I think you guys will enjoy the experience, and certainly it'll help get you ready for the season, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be, I think as many tough games as we can play early to help get us ready is beneficial, and that'll certainly be a good challenge. So, as I said, our guys are excited about it.
Yeah, and then you got the Charger Classic this year coming back as well. So, some great opportunities on the horizon for people to get out and watch some basketball once the season begins.
Definitely, I was thrilled with our attendance. I'm a numbers guy, so we averaged almost 1,100 fans per game last year, which was up about 300 per game from the 23-24 season. And I hope that we can just continue to create some buzz around UAH basketball and hopefully make a big jump as well and get it closer to 1,500 or so. But last year we averaged more attendance than 70 Division I programs
Wow.
on average. So I think that just says a lot, and it makes me very thankful to be a part of a basketball program that it's really important and matters to a lot of people. So something that we certainly appreciate and want to continue to grow.
Well, and speaking of growing, I like the rebranding and the logo's spiffy.
It is.
It is. Yeah. It's unique. I think that's kind of the genesis of that was to have something that is totally ours. I think the previous Charger was used by several teams, including the Denver Broncos. So, I think to have something that's ours and it's kind of got the 3D effect to it. And some of the other branding as well with just, some of the fonts and kind of the, they have like kind of the cursive Chargers. I think it looks really clean. And so yeah, we're getting some new uniforms ordered, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it, Coach. Looking forward to these events coming up. It's going to be a busy, the rest of August and then September, and then before you know it, October will be here, and you guys will be getting ready to crank it up. But it's going to be a lot of excitement around UAH right now.
Well, that's a good thing, and hopefully we can, continue to add to the excitement and play a style that is a good brand of basketball, and no matter how many games we win or how good we are or not, I'm really excited about the quality of guys that we have coming in, and that's something that's been important to UAH for a really long time and been who we are. So I think we have a lot of really good people, and I'm excited for the journey ahead and appreciate you guys. Your support is a really big part of it.
No problem, Coach. We appreciate you taking the time out of what's about to be a very busy schedule to come on and update us on UAH hoops and what's coming up in this off season, and of course, really getting cranked up and being able to work with the guys on the floor starting in the next few days. We're looking forward to that as well. But again, appreciate the time, and we look forward to the golf tournament and of course the exhibition game with Alabama A&M and all the great events coming up with UAH basketball.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Hope to talk again soon.
Thanks, Coach. Mick Hedgepeth, kind enough to join us for a little bit there this morning, previewing a little bit. I mean, we are in the throngs of football season. We're getting ready to start, but man, they're getting ready to start as well. But if you want to be a part of it, it's the Willis Acuff Golf Tournament, 11:30 a.m., September 29th, Huntsville Country Club. And then on the 28th, on September 28th, that Sunday, over at Stovehouse, is where they're going to have I guess you could say the Q&A. And there's going to be some big names. I know Josh Majette is part of that. Steve Webster is part of that. There's some other ones I'm forgetting. I know I am because they just announced the names yesterday of who will all be there. But anyway, got to get a break in. When we come back, we will check in with Hugh Freeze. And we will hear from him as he was talking about the evolution of Deuce Knight. Just where is he if he had to play today? Hugh Freeze will explain.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware is your locally owned and operated hardware store. We're not just about numbers, we're about helping neighbors, because our Ace Hardware store is part of your community. We're committed to being the helpful place by offering our customers personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience. As the helpful hardware folks in your neighborhood, we promise that helping you is the most important thing we have to do today. Stop by and visit Lake Gunnersville Ace Hardware today, 1536 Blunt Avenue in Gunnersville.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction. a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
The Atlanta Braves.
Swung on and crushed, deep left field. Kepler going back. Here comes some late-night dynamite here at Truist Park. A walk-off home run by Marcell Ozuna.
All season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
There we go. Not wanting to. By the way, welcome back, Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I love the Larry Bird outfit. I love the Larry Bird stuff today.
Oh, yeah. Not the first time I've worn it, but yep.
We're coming on, it's like the anniversary of him retiring. It was like yesterday or the day before was the anniversary of Larry Bird announcing his retirement.
Right. The guy that LeBron couldn't even touch on his best day.
We were talking about Hugh Freeze, and we were talking about the fact that he yesterday said, yeah, you probably could see all three quarterbacks against Baylor. I mean, what is he going to say? Well, no, you're only going to see one. But I mean, no. So he was also asked about the evolution, I guess you could say that's the right word, the evolution of Deuce Knight at quarterback for the Tigers. And Deuce, obviously a herald freshman coming in. But is Deuce Knight ready to play right now? Here's Hugh Freeze.
You mentioned it just then with the pocket, but where do you want to see those guys most improve, I guess, in that area the next 2 weeks? And then how ready would you say Deuce is, from watching him in camp?
He's getting better. I think, as far as setting in there and making a throw, he's ready. He can do that. There's still things, setting protections is new. And that's kind of an issue that he still has growth to do in it. Maybe recognizing a little. Our defense is doing a really nice job of disguising things, and all of them are missing some of that. It's even hard for us as coaches when you're watching film to see it. They're doing a really nice job. So I think he's just got to improve in the mental side of it. Physically, he can make all the throws right now. So I wouldn't hesitate to throw him in a game. Hopefully we'll start tomorrow, trying to really get these. We haven't studied. We got the base down plan in, but we don't have, hey, all right, how are we setting these protections? And so we will start working that tomorrow, and hopefully all of them will feel better about, that aspect of it by mid next week.
So there you go. He can make all the throws, but as far as setting the protections and everything, he's got a little bit of growth to go to it.
Talented kid, no doubt about it. Good size, good arm. Could very well be the quarterback of the future, but the quarterback of today better be Jackson Arnold, or they're all fired. And that's just, there's no in between about it. If they're 6-6 or worse and in some toilet bowl, or if they're not in postseason, then Hugh Freeze will not see year 4. But he needs to go 7-5, 8-4 or better, and I think he has the material to do so. But it better be with Jackson Arnold at quarterback. I mean, is it inconceivable that Deuce Knight could basically, but it would, to me, it would take injury. But is it possible that he could be behind center for Auburn? Yes, but it would have to take something catastrophic, because I just don't think that Auburn's in the position where they need a true freshman quarterback having to take the majority of the snaps. I think that's why they brought in Ashton Daniels from Stanford anyway. They brought in a guy with some starting experience so they could bring along Deuce Knight and make sure he develops properly. And so I would think you would see him going at QB, the transfer from Stanford Daniels, before you would Deuce Knight. I don't think Deuce Knight would be the backup, in my opinion, dude, because I know he hasn't been at Auburn, but this is a dude that started games in the ACC and the Pac-12, 2 Power 4 leagues, even if they do suck. Both those leagues aren't the SEC, but he still has experience, and it would allow Deuce Knight to continue to develop and exactly what Coach Freeze was talking about, be able to adjust protections and do things, that people maybe don't take into account. Yeah. It's not just making a throw to an open receiver. It's getting the little things right.
Yes. And I mean, do you think, and he says, you could see all 3 quarterbacks at Baylor. Do you think Jackson Arnold, I mean, it's the very first game of the year, and we see this sometimes from programs where the starting quarterback goes out, they run the first series, they run the second series, they run the third series, or maybe on the third series or the fourth series, the backup quarterback comes in just to get some reps for one series. Do you think that's maybe something we see out of Auburn on a Friday night at Baylor?
If we do, F.
So you would just keep Jackson Arnold in from start to beginning?
Hell yes.
Or from start to finish, not start to beginning, to finish.
Unless you've got the game in control in the latter half of the fourth quarter and you want to play somebody else. But Jackson Arnold hasn't played much football at Oklahoma or at Auburn at all. He hasn't played for Auburn at all in a real game. And again, it was very uneven, his play at Oklahoma. And he lost the job last year. So he needs time behind center, and he needs to develop as well. And these coaches need to coach him up, and he needs to play at a high level. And if he does, they'll beat Baylor. And I will say this, if Auburn plays at a high enough level where 3 quarterbacks did play, I wouldn't want to be Dave Aranda, because his ass is probably going to be on the hot seat right after that too, because I know they improved and won 6 more games or whatever the hell it was last year in the Bush leagues.
Right.
But that, if you go out there at home and you get your house burned to the ground by the Auburn Tigers and the big bad SEC, you might be back in the league as somebody's defensive coordinator next year, because you're not going to be the Baylor Bears head coach.
Hugh Freeze talked about all 3 quarterbacks.
Ashton looked in that regard.
Pleased with both. Think that there's a place for both, depending on the scenario in the game. Without giving away too much, I think there's a place for both of those guys that you could play to their strengths, and we won't be afraid to do that.
Talking about Daniels and Knight playing to their strengths, and he didn't want to give too much away, but he could see a scenario where they use the strengths for both of them at some point during the game. But of course, all of this.
If you're playing three quarterbacks, that's not a good sign. Okay, I don't care if you're putting one in trying to prove that he can run. They're all mobile.
Right.
I mean, we all watch Jackson Arnold. He's a good athlete, okay? He's not the athlete probably you'd say Deuce Knight is, but he's still very athletic. So's Ashton Daniels. So I think they're trying to play a lot of mind games and trying to think they can mess with Dave Aranda. I wouldn't think that Dave and his coaching staff would fall for something like that. You got to prepare for Jackson Arnold, watch a lot of tape of him, and then, and see if you can outcoach Hugh Freeze and his staff, because that's been the biggest issue with Coach Freeze and those guys on offense. They've been getting out coached and turning the ball over too much, and the players aren't executing. Now, I thought Durkin did a good job with the defense, and everything we've heard so far in fall camp is I think the defense is coming along. And don't forget, Durkin was a wanted guy. Nick Saban was interested in him before he retired. And then during the offseason, after Jim Knowles left to go to Penn State and try to save Big Game Jim over there, or James, I'm sorry, Big Game James. Then once he left and Penn State had to go find another defensive coordinator, Ohio State had to go find another defensive coordinator once the Jim Knowles left to go to Penn State. Look, man, I mean, Ohio State came calling. They would have hired Durkin, but Auburn did what they had to do to keep him. And I think that continuity is helping. I think Auburn right now I think Alabama and Auburn both have maybe top 5 defenses in the SEC.
Right.
And I think that the Auburn secondary has come a long way. Probably with Asante graduating, there was a hole at linebacker, but I think they like where they are, especially with Melendez and some of the young guys. But I think they like where their defensive line is depth-wise as well. And I think they feel like their defense is going to be the best it's been in a while. And, and I think the continuity that they've got with the coaching staff, and DJ Durkin back, I think has really helped.
Of course, Lane Kiffin trolling all of this once again. Remember, he chimed in on the first down, second down, third down play callers. Yesterday, Reddit College Football put out there on X that this year Auburn will have 3 different play callers, 3 different quarterbacks. That's a potential of 9 play caller quarterback combinations. Absolutely impossible to defend against. Tigers are going to be nuclear. Lane Kiffin responds with just a fire emoji.
Look, I mean, this offense needs to make progress for Auburn. It's the area of expertise for Hugh and this coaching staff, and he's worked with these guys for years. Derek Nix they have quite a history together. Kent Austin, so this is a coaching staff that they know each other well. So this offense needs to improve. It needs to improve from an execution standpoint. They need to get better play out of the quarterback. They need to cut out the turnovers, because that's really what cost them 2, 3, 4 games last year. If they can cut those turnovers out, then they can go on the road. They can beat Baylor, and I think Auburn can improve and along with Oklahoma, can make a major step up in the SEC.
Yeah, because Oklahoma needs to make Brent Venables in Oklahoma. They need to take a leap.
Yep,
they do.
They certainly didn't think Jackson Arnold was going to work out long term, which makes it fascinating that Hugh grabbed him. And so we'll see what Hugh can do with him, and then we'll see what John Mateer, who was getting a ton of buzz, along those lines at SEC Media Days, what he can do. Because I know there's some media folks out there that think John Mateer may win the Heisman Trophy. So we'll see. If he wins the Heisman Trophy, then I think there's no way that Brent Venables is not the Oklahoma head coach, and very likely Oklahoma, they could make a huge leap. I had them in the top 7 in the SEC, but maybe they go even higher. Maybe they're in the top 4. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow. To get to the top 4, that would be
college
quite
football
elite.
playoff territory.
That'd be. I'm just thinking about how much they would have to climb after looking. I mean, that's because you have Texas, Alabama, LSU, and Texas, Alabama, LSU, and Georgia in there now. If anybody else is to climb that ladder, I mean, one of those 4.
I had Ole Miss, Oklahoma, and Auburn jumping up in there.
Yeah, one of those 4 though would have to not have a good year.
And I like Missouri's schedule to have a chance to get in the top 8 as well. So we'll see. But
just goes to show you right now, and when the way we're thinking is that the SEC is, I mean, it's everybody says, well, you look at the Big Ten and the SEC, and the SEC has their bottom teams. The Big Ten has their bottom teams, and they're very much similar. But the SEC, I think, when we're sitting here talking about who could be in the top 4, and you're saying Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, but you know what? Oklahoma could make a case if things go right. They could climb up there. They could be a surprise. Missouri's schedule, as you said, very formidable. They could find a way to get up inside the top 4. It's not unthinkable. The SEC is still 9, 10, 11, 12 teams deep, whereas you look at the Big Ten, and you can make a case for 3? Maybe Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon?
Right now, I would say that's the ones that are above the rest. We'll see if because Michigan, they're going to have a lot of young players, and then they lost one of their 5-star tackles to an ACL. It sounds like Babaloa. A guy that they won a very stiff bidding war. I know Auburn was in on that young man for the entire process, but I think he was having a really good camp, but I think he tore his ACL. So, and again, you're gonna they do have the sanctions now announced and in the rear view, but it's still something they're going to have to deal with, and so we'll see. But certainly, Michigan. I don't really know what to make of them, but we'll find out, I guess, after the season starts.
All right, 7:43. Let's get our break in. When we come back, Ed Orgeron.
Been working for our guy John Summerall. Been volunteering, I believe.
Yes, but he wants back into the real game.
Yeah, well, I'd take him as Alabama's defensive line coach tomorrow.
Yeah, that's the thing. He wants back in, says he's got the fire. But he was on a podcast, but he recalled about the whole Joe Burrow. He got to talking about the whole Joe Burrow season. and he talked about the Alabama game, that Alabama game. He talked about that here and that. Well, we'll let you hear from Ed Orgeron. Interesting stuff coming up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 90s. Heat indices going to be anywhere between 105 to 107. Maybe an isolated shower develops across the Tennessee Valley. Most of us are going to end up staying dry. Temperatures drop into the mid 70s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Wednesday. Temperatures in the mid 90s. Slightly better opportunity for rain.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window. Now is the time to take advantage of their huge end of summer sale and get ready for the fall. Right now, all windows are 35% off. All exterior doors are 40% off. Now you get the whole door, just the price is 40% off. And get this, 0% interest for 18 months, as in no interest, nada, none. As always, the estimates are free, as is the lifetime warranty. To make an appointment, go to yourhomewindow.com. That's yourhomewindow.com.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our workhorse special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Hey everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see? Every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments, it doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We are your home for Sparkman football.
Williams going to keep it. Roll to his left.
He's getting there.
He is in. Senators take a lead.
What have we witnessed in Harvest tonight? The Senator Zone, only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
No, couldn't do it.
Last week.
Welcome back. Talking Ball 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. Welcome back into the conversation. And before we get to what Ed Orgeron had to say, we were talking about the Auburn Tigers. And one announcement, though, that we did not have a chance to mention yet, and that was it was announced yesterday, and here is the announcement in regards to Auburn and Cam Newton.
Big time.
They're greats, they're legends different ways. Even though number 2 hasn't been worn since you wore it against Oregon in the national championship game, technically it could be.
I think what Tim's trying to say is ain't nobody going to wear number 2 from here on out because we're retiring your number, brother.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
The truth of the matter is no one knew. And honestly, I didn't even know. I didn't know the impact that Auburn would have on me of being a kid from Atlanta. No one knew the desire to really bring something to this town that will never be forgotten.
That's Cam Newton there. And yesterday, Auburn put it out there that they are retiring the number 2.
Yep, it'll be for the Georgia game, which will be one of the 2 biggest home games of the season on campus, the other being at the end of the regular season against Alabama. But Cam is you just heard him mention, he's an Atlanta native, a Georgia native, and that was a huge win during that season. That was arguably the best single season in college football history by one player. Because Auburn,
even over Joe Burrow.
I mean, it's him and Joe Burrow are the two guys as far as quarterbacks that you think of. You think of Derrick Henry as a running back. You think of Devontae Smith as a wide receiver, even though Jamar Chase and certainly Justin Jefferson was tremendous for LSU as well. They're right up there also. But as far as just being how impactful he was, you could argue that it was Cam Newton, because Auburn wasn't even thought to be a national championship contender that season going in. They were ranked in the lower regions of the top 25. And
the pieces around him were good. Philip Lutzenkirchen was good.
Well, they had him,
around it wasn't great.
Well, they had the true freshman tailback as
Tank
well.
Bigsby?
No. Tank was a toddler.
That's the first name that came to my mind.
Michael Dyer.
Yes.
Who had the one spectacular freshman year and then fell off, but he was tremendous that year. Michael Dyer from Arkansas. Cam had such an impact as a passer, as a runner, just as an athlete. And Tim Tebow had the tremendous college career where he won multiple national titles and won the Heisman and put together, really 4 really good years of college football. But for 1 year, Cam Newton transformed that program. He made Gene Chizik a national championship coach. That's all you need to know, because Chizik was a good defensive coordinator, but me saying Gene Chizik was a good head football coach on the college level, that'd be like saying that I've got a picture of Phil Fulmer in my house, and if somebody thought I did, then you can just shoot me.
You got it above your fireplace, and you pay homage to it every night.
Mm-hmm. Pissant.
Philip Fulmer, not Gene Chizik. Yes,
absolutely. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. He's a maggot.
Well, no, you're right. You're right, because Gene Chizik, I mean, you look at his...
And then Cam went on to have a really good pro career. Is he going to be in Canton? I don't think so, but he had a really good career. He got the Carolina Panthers to the Super Bowl. He was the MVP. He certainly lived up to, how good he was supposed to be. Okay? So he had a tremendous impact on Auburn, the SEC, and then the NFL. So well-deserved that he gets his number 2 jersey retired.
Yes.
I mean, when you think of the Mount Rushmore of Auburn football anyway, I mean, it's definitely Bo Jackson. It's definitely Cam Newton. It's, definitely Pat Sullivan.
Terry Beasley.
And Terry Beasley, yep. I mean, those guys, those are your guys when you think of Auburn football that are the all-time greats for the Tigers. I mean, there's no question about that.
You mentioned Gene Chizik. I just looked it up because I was curious. He was a head coach for 6 seasons in the college football level.
Mm-hmm.
Half of those 6 were he did not have a winning record.
He was not a good head football coach.
Only 3 years did he have a winning record as a coach. 2009 when he arrived at Auburn, 2010 obviously, and 2011, the year after the national championship. 8-5, 14-0, 8-5, and then just 3-9, and the winless 0-8 in 12 in the conference level.
Well, and like I said, man, he was a good defensive coordinator, okay? And he worked for Mack Brown on multiple occasions. He worked at Auburn as defensive coordinator. He was at North Carolina and Texas under Mack.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think he's working in the business right now, but he's a lot better than a lot of the analysts that I hear every day on ESPN, like that don't know who Barry Sanders is. I mean, that's amazing.
Dude, that may have been, you're paying homage.
Monica McStupid. Yeah.
You're paying homage to Shadur Sanders here.
Yeah.
Dude's like looking at her going, dude,
I'm sorry.
This is Barry Sanders.
They should have fired her ass during the break. They should have just took her headset and she should have disappeared.
I saw that on X and I was like, oh my goodness.
Well,
that was
look, if you watched her during the NBA draft, she was horrendous.
Right.
She did the player interviews after they were drafted, and she's terrible. Okay. She doesn't know a basketball from a volleyball. She's awful.
Here is what we're alluding to. Hopefully this will be loud enough.
A blast for us to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, so the jersey. Let's get into it because obviously this ties the one Shedeur Sanders who balled out in his first preseason game. I'm sorry about that. Barry Sanders.
I'm sorry, but you're Monica McStupid from that point forward.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can stop the race baiting and all the other crap that they've got you doing on woke ESPN and trying to act like everybody's a racist. No, you're a dumbass. You don't know how to do your own job. So, I mean, good grief.
No, I saw that. I was like, wow. And he's even wearing the Detroit blue uniform.
With a number 20 on it.
With a number 20.
But again, she wouldn't know Barry Sanders from Shedeur Sanders. She doesn't know anything. I mean, just dumb.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, it's just, that's where ESPN is right now. Just stupidity.
We are just about done with hour number 1. Coming up to kick off hour number 2. It's been a little bit, but our good friend Bill Bender will join the program. We mentioned off the top of the show, Julian Sayin named starting quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. And just what does that mean for them, the defending national champions, as they try to go back to back? We'll get his thoughts on that. And a little Rich Rod, right? A little Rich Rod feature. Rich Rodriguez now at West Virginia. And plenty of faces from the Jack State days there on that West Virginia roster. He took a few guys with him there to West Virginia. Got to get a break in. Going to kick off hour 2 with Bill Bender coming up next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The White Sox and the Braves, 5-game winning streak with a win yesterday. Today, Bryce Elder on the mound for Atlanta, 5-9, a 5.89 ERA, and a $1.76 favorite against Shane Smith of the White Sox, plus 144. 9 juice to the under, the total. NASCAR headed to Daytona this week for the Coke Zero Sugar 400 Saturday night. Joey Logano, Austin Cedric, both 10-1. Chase Elliott, 11-1, and William Byron, 12-1. Michael Penix Jr., Kirk Cousins will not play in the Falcons' preseason finale Friday night at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Falcons a 2.5-point dog against the Cowboys. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 2 is upon us. 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Big thank you. Sportsman Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. Give them a call today, 256-881-5151, if you want to experience the Sports Med difference. You can find them online, sportsmedalabama.com. Big partners of us here, big partners of everybody around the Tennessee Valley, official medical providers for the UAH Chargers and the Rocket City Trash Pandas, both of which have homes right here on 97.7 ESPN Zone and Talk Radio WZZM. College football is quickly, and I mean quickly approaching, as we will have college football this weekend. In Dublin, Ireland, getting a little bit of Guinness on. Iowa State, Kansas State, ranked matchup there to kick everything off. Yesterday, the news, starters getting named all across college football, and Ohio State naming former Alabama. I mean, he was there briefly.
About a week, maybe two.
But he was still there, former Alabama quarterback Julian Sayin as their starting quarterback.
Yep, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Michigan fallout and this very nice feature on our good friend, former guest on the show,
yes,
Rich Rodriguez, because he did a great job at revitalizing Jack State football, especially on the Division I Group of 5 level, and now back home in West Virginia, a place he should have never left. But we're going to talk to Bill Bender about all that. It's great to catch up with our great friend, Bill Bender, senior editor of the Sporting News, senior writer, does a great job covering college football and the NFL for the Sporting News. Bill, it's great to have you back in Huntsville. You're with Drew and Scott. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Drew. Thanks for having me on. Hope everything's going well.
Yeah, it's going well, man. We hope it's going well for you. And no surprise with Julian Sayin, I don't think.
No, I mean, he obviously, it was tight, though. Lincoln Keenholz really made a push, and I don't think it was like the coach is just promoting a competition. No, they were close. So, Julian Sayin, he has the really, everybody talks about his release, but I think, he's cleaned up some things. He's going to have some really good receivers to throw to, and the pressure's on right off the start. So,
yeah.
I mean, I think that, Ohio State's one of those places where it's probably the most pressure for a quarterback in all of college football. I mean, Will Howard won a national title last year, and there's still some people that aren't happy with him because they lost to Michigan.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, so then the pressure's there. He has a phenomenal wide receiving core, but what's different about this year's Ohio State team than what they put on the field last year for a national championship?
Well, they lost a lot of experience. I mean, anytime you lose double-digit guys to the NFL draft, I mean, It's not going to be easy. They do have plenty of talent back, and then there's some breakout contenders or players like Kenyatta Jackson on the defense. That's a name you're going to hear a lot of, I have a feeling, just from what I've heard. Brandon Ennis on the offensive side. He's captain. He's playing with we all know about Jeremiah Smith and Cornell Tate. Well, Brandon Ennis is yet another one. And, so I think they're going to be fine on that side of the ball. Now, it's the same thing. Texas is going to be really good. I mean, they're number one, and they have Arch. We all know that. But they also lost a lot of guys to the NFL draft. So it's how you we'll see if they can actually reload. Alabama and Georgia were able to do that over the years. Remember, LSU and Michigan really didn't. So we'll see if those two schools can.
Well, I know we're talking to Bill Bender, senior writer, editor for the Sporting News. And then the fascinating thing, and you would expect this with the year Ohio State had. Now, it wasn't easy, but they won the national championship. So, of course, they had attrition both on the roster from a player standpoint. You mentioned double-digit NFL draft picks, some departures, and, of course, coaching departures. They have 2 new coordinators, and it's kind of fascinating. Chip Kelly goes back to the NFL. Brian Hartline, who's done so much great work as a wide receivers coach, gets bumped up to OC. And then really a very interesting defensive coordinator hire. Of course, we didn't expect Coach Knowles. I was surprised that he left to go to Penn State, Jim Knowles. But then they bring in another NFL guy, Matt Patricia, who has had a lot of success as a defensive coordinator, maybe not as a head coach, but Matt Patricia and Brian Hartline, the 2 new coordinators in Columbus.
Yeah, I mean, it's anytime you bring in 2 coordinators, there'll be an impact. I think Brian Hartline, he's kind of worked his way up to this, and he's an excellent recruiter. We all know that. And total Buckeye, he's been there forever, and was a really nice player there as well. Patricia's interesting, the NFL type background. I know Ohio State had the connections with the Patriots during the Belichick era, and obviously Vrabel played at Ohio State. So, those are important. And I think I've always thought, when you have a ton of 4- and 5-star talent, which they do, and Georgia does, and Alabama does, you should just play an NFL-style defense. I mean, that's what I would do. If I had NFL-type players, I would just play an NFL-type defense. And, and I think that's what Matt Patricia will do. They can build that defense around Caleb Downs. That's a nice start. And Sonny Styles, the really versatile linebacker that they have. So they're going to be fun to watch on that side of the ball, too.
You mentioned the pressure on Julian Sain. You mentioned the pressure of playing quarterback at Ohio State. And you look, I mean, he comes in first-year starter, but you go down the list of former Ohio State quarterbacks and their records and everything as first-year starters. I mean, you got guys like Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, Dwayne Haskins, Cardale Jones, J.T. Barrett, all of them. I mean, 11 wins, 13, 10, 11 wins. It's a lot of pressure.
Well, and Kyle McCord was a really good player, and they decided to move on from him.
11-1 as a starter in his first year.
Well, as you were naming those names, there's only the one that matters.
Yep.
It's weird. Like, yeah, they all have great records, but as you were saying, Dwayne Haskins 1-0 against. I know them all because it's weird, and I don't know if Auburn, Alabama does it this way, but I could probably go through. I'm 45. Probably go through every Ohio State, Michigan coach in my lifetime, and most of the quarterbacks over the last 25 years, and tell you, okay, that guy was, like Troy Smith, for example, 3-0 against Michigan. Kind of the standard, won a Heisman Trophy. But all those guys you mentioned up until the last 4 years were just dominating Michigan. And so, C.J. Stroud had a great career, 0-2. Kyle McCord, you mentioned him. Will Howard has a national championship ring, doesn't have a pair of gold pants. So I think Julian Sain will face the pressure of you got to. It's a long way away, but they have to beat Michigan this year. Like, or all of that stuff bubbles right back up. Now you're playing Texas along the way. You mentioned Penn State with Jim Knowles. I think there's going to be a lot of heat on that game, but this is why when I argue with guys from Alabama, I always say it is literally. I don't know. I watched Alabama do the same thing, though. I watched them lose to Auburn and win a national championship. I can get it. It can happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think Alabama – I could be wrong. I don't think the Alabama fans are like, we would trade this natty for that win against Auburn. I don't – I'd be very small number.
Hell no.
That was a definitive no.
Right.
I would agree with that. I mean, and Bill, you've grown up in it. You live there. You live in the middle of it. So we take it very seriously what you're saying. And I will ask you this, because I think it's a good segue. What is the fallout that you've heard now that Michigan has been found guilty, that this is now, but a lot of people believe they just got a slap on the wrist, though. The NCAA is toothless, but what's the fallout and where does Michigan go from here?
Well, and just to back up what I just said, so here's how I've always explained those two rivalries real quick.
Let's go.
I think Auburn, Alabama is without question the best in-state rivalry in the country.
Gotcha.
There's nothing that's really close. There's some cousins like South Carolina, Clemson's nasty, and Ole Miss, Mississippi State. I understand that, but nothing's better than Auburn, Alabama. But just so the way I would say it is, last year, and I don't know if I told this story on here, when Ohio State lost to Michigan, I coach a girls basketball team, and I had, 8, 9 dads or whatever. And I asked him, I was like, would you have rather won that game or win the national title? And it was like 60-40 beat Michigan. But granted, the pain of the loss was pretty close. But
yes,
it's an obsession. And the Michigan end of it, I think you mentioned that punishment. I kind of thought that I would have given him a 1-year bowl ban. That's kind of where I landed.
Gotcha.
I think that would have I wouldn't have taken away the title or the wins and all that. And I probably would have kept a fine. And I think that fine is more than people think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But had you given them a 1-year bowl ban, it would have said, okay, Ohio State fans, this is what Ohio State got, by the way, when they did the tattoo thing in 2012. But they had to vacate wins. What it told me is the NCAA will never do that again. They'll never vacate. They may give it to like Akron, who does have a bowl ban, but they're not going to hit there are $13 billion programs in college football. They're not going to hit them.
Mm.
So do we look then, does it change the way we look at Michigan's national championship? I mean, it won't have an asterisk by it in the program. It won't have anything, but you look at Ohio State's national championship, and they were clearly the best team last year on the football field. And it showed at the end. Michigan, though, when we talk about the 23 national championship, we're not going to say how good they were, even though they were. We're just going to talk about them being on the cheating end of things.
No, I don't agree necessarily. I think over time it'll fade. And the best example I can give you is, the news yesterday. So when Michigan, I had this argument on Friday. I said, because somebody brought the same thing up. They say, oh, we'll only think of Connor Steins. I was like, well, what do you think of when you think about Cam Newton? Do you think about the fact that he was ineligible during the season, or that he just got his number retired yesterday?
Right.
Because when I think of Cam Newton, I think of
greatness.
Cam Newton running past Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
And how great that Auburn team was and how he carried them. And yes, there was controversy, but I don't really remember. Honestly, USC, I know what happened, and I know who the coach is and the boosters and all that. But I still think about Reggie Bush running by the Fresno State guy. So while you're correct that I think Michigan, this will always be a stain on the national championship. I think that's fair. But I think in 10 years, I'm probably going to think about that game against Alabama where like Blake Corum ran into the end zone, or them beating Washington the way that they did with a bunch of NFL players. So I think it'll be a stain, and we're always going to remember Connor Steins. That's for sure, because, he put himself out there on Netflix, and I'm glad we solved that mystery of him being on the sideline at Central Michigan like we didn't know.
Well, and Bill, I got to ask this too, because we know our good friend Josh Pate is going to be there in Columbus, but we believe, of course, it's your backyard. We'll believe you're going to be there as well. What are you most looking forward to? Because you don't see a matchup like this every day. I know Clemson and LSU are playing. Alabama and Florida State certainly lost luster because of the Seminoles last year, but 1 versus 2 like this doesn't happen often.
Oh, it's amazing. It's one of the probably that best opener since that Alabama-Florida State game back in, remember, it was down in, I went.
2017.
Down in
the end of dirt.
Kind of a fist fight of a game too, like nothing much to it. But it's a great week 1. And I mean, that's a great piece of it. I always get excited when Ohio State plays a huge non-conference opponent. And I think this definitely qualifies. You've got other ones though. You got Miami, Notre Dame. You've got
that's true. We're not really talking about that one enough. Yeah,
I know, and that's on its own Sunday. We've got LSU, Clemson. That's a huge game. Even North Carolina, like the Belichick factor. I mean, every night from Thursday through Monday, we have this unbelievable run of games, and I just can't wait to see it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's as excited for week. I look back at like week 1 last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth it. It's unbelievable how much better this week 1 is.
Well,
I want to ask you, though, real fast, one question about just the Big Ten as a whole, because Ohio State does come into this one number one in the preseason, but Penn State was right there. Penn State got a lot of votes, very close vote for James Franklin to be number one. How much pressure does James Franklin have a lot of pressure on him this year to deliver maybe a national championship to Happy Valley?
I mean, yeah, I just think it's different. I don't know what the pressure is, and I'm not like being dumb.
Yeah.
I'm like I've asked this question all summer. I said, okay, let's say Penn State beats Ohio State, wins the Big Ten, goes to the title game, and like loses an instant classic against Georgia. Are we going to like get on Franklin then? I don't think you would. What if they lose to Ohio State, win the Big Ten, go back to the semifinals? It's like, there's a lot of combinations you can do in the playoff now. I do think there's pressure for them to get back to the semifinals. Is that fair? And the path that with the guys that they have coming back and, this needing to beat Ohio State, they haven't done that since 2016. I think that's a huge stat. And then we'll go from there. But they're going to be super talented. There's no doubt. And we'll see if the Nittany Lions can get it done. I like James Franklin. I think he's treated a little unfairly for how much success he's had. It's almost like he's taken the place of, remember how we used to do this every year with Harbaugh? I think that's Franklin now.
Right. I could understand that comparison. And before we let you go, though, we've got to ask you about Rich Rod, because a lot of we saw Mike Riley do this and go back to Oregon State, and he had a modicum of success. But I think we all understood after the Michigan debacle and even the Arizona fit wasn't great. Now he kind of revitalized his career at Jack State, but this return to West Virginia is really interesting.
Oh, it was a fun story to write. He gets to go home again. And, I'm a Southeast Ohio kid, and Southeast Ohio isn't that far from West Virginia. So, there's the accent, our accents are about the same, all those kind of things. His is a little, thicker, obviously, but, it was cool to be around that program. And that it's not going to be the same as the other night. He was very complimentary of his time at Jack State and how he said, he wouldn't be back if they wouldn't have had success at Jack State. And it's just fit matters. I said that all the time on your show. And he definitely fits at West Virginia. And I don't know how good they're going to be. They have a ton of transfers, like 70 plus. But I know we've talked a lot about Bill Belichick. I do think Rich Rod deserves to be there. And I put a little thing in the story there. There's a town called, it's spelled like Ironton, but, we call it Arndon because that's who we are down here. So like, if you can speak that language, which I can, it made it that much easier. And I always tell you, we're not all that different than you guys down there at Alabama. That's for sure.
Well, I like Rich Rod. I know,
yes.
and then there's the underlying story that he was almost the head football coach at Alabama, and then we know that didn't work out. Nick Saban was the perfect fit, the perfect coach, and yet it all worked out for Rich Rod. It's interesting, in my opinion, that he's going to finish his career at West Virginia, and let's not forget. I think Pat White's a member of his staff now, but, they were a win away from playing for the national championship, but lost the backyard brawl to Pitt.
Yeah, and obviously Pat White is on that coaching staff, and I talked to him and Noel Devine, and, just the family feel that program has. Now, they do play my alma mater in week 2. I told them to take it easy on my Bobcats, but it was a fun story to write. It takes a few minutes. I went a little long on it. I admit that, but I had to get a lot in there, and if you get a chance to read it, it's pretty good.
No doubt. Well, definitely check it out. Bill, we appreciate you taking the time. I know it's a busy time of year for you. We love catching up. We're definitely going to have you on again soon, hopefully after this first week of college football coming up. That's going to be so great in the real opening week. I know we're going to have some college football this weekend, but in 2 weeks, love to have you on to get your thoughts after what you see in Columbus with Texas and Ohio State. But let everybody know how to follow you, and we always appreciate the time, and thank you for being so generous.
Oh, no problem. I'm Bill Bender. You follow me at Bill Bender 92, and at sportingnews.com. We got a lot of college football coverage coming, and we'll that. We're going to check in several times during the season. I always appreciate our conversation.
Thank you, Bill.
There we go.
Oh, thank you.
Got to get a break in when we come back. Auburn making an announcement just a few minutes ago on national championships. I'll explain the announcement when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Due to popular demand, this offer is extended through September 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
You'll love the expanded wine selection at Liquor Express. From special occasion to everyday table wines, they've got what you need. Meet your friends at the largest tap wall in Alabama with 105 rotating selections. Then take home a growler full of your favorite or choose from our 1,000 canned or bottled beers. Need help stocking your bar or planning your party? Liquor Express has a knowledgeable, professional, in-house staff that can assist you with anything from your bar to the planning of your special event. Visit liquorexpress.net for tasting specials, giveaways, and classes.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Since 1986, Full Moon Barbecue has been cooking quality meats low and slow over a hickory wood-fired pit. From ribs and wings, brisket, turkey, catfish, and sausage to the best butts in town. If you're planning a holiday or a birthday party, Full Moon has a large banquet room. And Full Moon is ready for your next catering or tailgate. Just call us and we'll take care of everything. 256-713-0070. Full Moon Barbecue on the Parkway next to Costco. The best little pork house in Alabama.
The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Is that what I think it is? Is that the Lehigh drum band? No? Oh, okay. It sounded like it. Anyway, college football conversation ongoing, 256-576-4977. You want to join the program, feel free to do so.
I think Pat is still holding.
Yes, that's where we are going back out to we're going back out to the phone lines right out of the break. Pat from Tuscaloosa is with us this morning. Good morning, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Good morning, guys. Did we escape a fiasco with Antonio Coleman choosing choosing Auburn over Alabama? Did we escape an embarrassment? What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, his recruitment was bizarre. I mean, we're committing to Auburn, then flipping to Alabama, then flipping back to Auburn, then back to Alabama, then back to Auburn, or whatever the hell it was. He played for Jeff Kelly at Saraland, really good program. He's a good player. His father played at Auburn. he ends up, following in his footsteps, and now he's suspended indefinitely. That was announced yesterday by Hugh Freeze. So not a great look early. We'll see if he can come back from it. But, just again, and if you followed his journey closely, he got suspended his senior season for a little while at Saraland as well. So again, probably a young man needing to mature a little bit.
Okay. All right. Now, one more question I didn't get to ask you yesterday. I couldn't get through. Is Alabama's running back room? Are we going to see Hill run like Eddie Lacy, or are we going to? I'm hearing that there was a reason that Alabama took A.K. Deer, that A.K. Deer's having flashes. And he's not going to be the starting running back, but I'm hearing A.K. Deer's doing some really special things, and there is a reason that Alabama took A.K. Deer over my man from down in South Alabama. And I followed all year long, that Alvin Henderson. Because I really thought Alvin Henderson was very, very special, Drew. I followed him where he ran for. Of course, he was running 1A football, but he ran for 300 yards every time I watched him. I watched him 6 times run for 300 yards.
It's interesting. I've heard a little bit, but not a lot of buzz. We've been hearing more about Mabson, honestly, that he's going to be a factor. So it sounds like Henderson, as of now, could end up being a red shirt for Auburn. I know he had a heck of a career at Elba and basically set every state record. But it's going to be interesting to see how his career unfolds. But yeah, I think A.K. Deer's got a lot of talent, but I would expect Daniel Hill. That would be my prediction on who starts for Alabama in the backfield. But I do think they're going to play at least 3 guys. AK could be the 4th. I mean, who knows? We'll see with Kevin Riley, but I think the top 3 without a doubt. I would say Daniel Hill, Richard Young, and then Dre Washington. I think all 3 of those guys are going to play. And if the offensive line performs up to their capability, I expect the running game to still be very effective. Now, it hurts not having Jam Miller for the first month or so, and hopefully they can get him back by the time they go to Athens, Georgia, because I think they're certainly going to need him. But I think that's probably the best case scenario, but we'll see what happens with that going forward.
All right. Guys, there's a lot of rumors about that particular injury. And if it was a collarbone, psychologically, collarbone for a running back coming back could take as much as 8 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
Depends on how fast the body heals, and it depends on the severity of the injury, and all of which we don't know. So, I mean, that's one of those things with that injury, with that type of injury. It's going to be a wait and see type of situation.
All right. Appreciate y'all taking my call, guys. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.
All right, let's slip in one more before the break. Let's get Jared real fast. Good morning, Jared.
What's up, Jared?
We got you, buddy.
Hey, how y'all doing, boys?
Good. How are you?
Doing good, man. I don't know if y'all know, but we got some football around the corner. And, we finally got some games this week, a little Iowa State, Kansas State. I'm going to be watching it like it's the dang Natty.
Got to get up early, 11 a.m. kickoff from Dublin, Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It does happen. I heard there's a lot of up there in Ireland or whatever, so, it should be pretty crazy. But
let's go Kansas State, baby. Back. Kansas State.
So, anyway, just wanted to holler at you guys. Looking forward to the season. We're going to see how Big Ty takes the reins over the Tide. I think, he hadn't really had his opportunity, and it's a lot different when you're coming in as backup than being the guy. And I think we're going to see a different version of him this year. So, anyway, y'all have a good day. I'll holler at you.
Thank you, Jared.
And he's right, because when you're the backup, the game plan usually doesn't center around what you do and how you do it. It's centered around the starting quarterback. Everything is built for that.
It'll be different.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going into his first, career start. He's never had one. He came off the bench and played pretty decent football a couple years ago in Tampa in a 10-3 win over USF. But that was it. Other than that, he hasn't played a whole lot. So we'll see what kind of player he is. A lot of people are on taking a wait and see approach as to what kind of quarterback. I think Ty has a lot of potential, but you got to see it first.
All right, 8:30. Let's get a break in. When we come back, Auburn putting out a release this morning on its national championships. Just how many do the Tigers now claim? We'll fill you in when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We're going to stay warm as we head into the overnight. Temperatures only drop into the mid-70s. Mostly to partly sunny sky for your Wednesday. Slightly better opportunities for some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, but it's still going to be hot. Temperatures climbing into the mid-90s, dropping into the low 70s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Thursday. Temperatures hanging out in the low 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month up to $15. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. In Hampton Cove and our latest location, now open in New Market on Winchester Road.
The Drive.
Both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them, because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship Game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
That ties in perfectly to the next conversation. Auburn putting it out just a few minutes ago via a press release. And I quote John Cohen, the athletics director, who says, "For too long, Auburn has chosen a humble approach to our program's storied history, choosing to recognize only Associated Press national championships. Starting this fall, we have made the decision to honor the accomplishments of our deserving student athletes, coaches, and teams from Auburn's proud history. Our visible national championship recognitions now align." Apparently, I've just won an iPhone. Literally, I got to Google this. Wow, it all went away. But anyway, Auburn now.
Don't download it. Your computer will be fried.
It just literally changed screens on me. But anyway, Auburn now claims, Cohen says, "Our visible national championship recognitions now align with the well-established standard used by the NCAA's official record book and our peers across the nation. Auburn, starting this year, will now recognize 9 national championships and 15 conference titles. Among the new national championships will be the 1910 national title, the 1914, the 1958, the 1993, 1983, and 04 and 2010. So Auburn will claim the 1910, the 1913, 1914, 1957, 1958, 1983, 1993, 2004, and 2010 national titles. There you go. The 04 was the Darrell Perry and GBE College Football Ratings national title. And then in 93, the National Championship Foundation national title. So they've gone away from just the AP. Auburn putting that out just a few minutes ago. And I can tell, I know your real thoughts on all of this. 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. You can join us here on a Tuesday morning.
Just get Tub on and talk about that.
Gov.
He had the hayride. So to award himself one when they dodged USC.
And in 93, were they not in trouble in 93?
Of course. They were on probation. It was the reason Coach Dye got the zig, because of Eric Ramsey, which, I will give Jason Caldwell credit for in the Monday morning quarterback. He was comparing it to what Michigan did to cheat. I mean, basically, they were giving Eric Ramsey food and helping him out, like steaks, trying to help him out because he had a family, things of that nature, things that you need to survive. I mean, this was not an elaborate cheating scheme like what Connor Stallions did at Michigan. And I totally understand what Jason's talking about there. I mean, and then you talked about Auburn. They had 2 years of postseason ban, 1 year of no TV, and Michigan just gets – now, like Bill Bender said, the money is more significant than people think, the 20-plus million. But they didn't get a postseason ban, and even Bill said they should have. And Bill would know. I mean, he knows the Big Ten as well as anybody we speak with on a regular basis. So, like Jason said, and I tend to agree with him, you pretty much know now the NCAA is done. And he was talking about in regards to the penalties.
All right, 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. Auburn again putting that release out just a few minutes ago that they will claim 9.
That team went 11-0 though in 93. It was a really good team.
Yes. But if you're in trouble,
led by Patrick Nix and of course James Bostic and certainly James Sanders, who was Frank Sanders,
right?
Pardon me, Frank Sanders, and then a really good defense as well. I mean, it was a really, really good year for Auburn. It was not quite as big a surprise to me as 2010 because nobody saw Cam Newton coming, but it certainly was a hell of a year in Auburn history.
All right. The other topic that we're going to bring up is Coach O, who, by the way, joined a Pardon My Take podcast and says, hey, you know what? I want to get back into coaching. He says it's been about 4 years, and he hasn't really gone full in yet, but he's got that itch again. And he says even if he has to be a coordinator or a coach, doesn't have to be a head coach, he would like back in to the college football game. He says it's about time for him to get in there. And so during this podcast, they were asked about that Joe Burrow season and specifically beating Alabama. Because Coach O said, hey, look, they were the standard. They were it. That's how you were measured. And here's Coach O on that national championship season with Joe Burrow and the importance of beating Alabama.
Well, first of all, as a head coach, I knew the benchmark was I had to beat Alabama. So everything that we did every day, I didn't say we had to beat Alabama, but I knew that they set the benchmark high. And we were right there, and we had to get past them. First of all, I thought you had to match their physicality. I was wrong. We spread them out. And that day we went to Tuscaloosa, we really ripped them a good one right there.
Yeah.
Now, they came back, give it to Nick Saban and his team, who's tough and a great coach. But we really had a great game plan. I remember, I'd go home Thursday night, and Joe Brady would stay in the office till 4 a.m. And the next day on Friday, he just looked at me and said, Coach, we got him. And I remember getting on the plane. It was like I was going with my buddies. We were going to a fight, man. And we were going to win.
Yeah.
And there was no question we were going to win that game.
But
well, there was a question until, I remember Joe Burrow throwing an interception early in the game, and miraculously it got called back.
Right.
Because, that it was LSU's year. Anything that went wrong, something went right. That turned around and they got the break they needed. Alabama was driving the ball right up their ass, and then Tua Tagovailoa fumbled. I mean, they were going right down the field. And then I will just say this, but I'd be glad Alabama didn't get the onside kick, Coach, because if they get it, your ass is whipped because you're not stopping Alabama if they get the ball last. Okay, so you won the game and you earned it, but it took a hell of an effort to beat that Alabama team. And Alabama didn't play perfect, but they played well. And if Tua had been a little sharper, I think Alabama wins. But again, he had the fumble, and then he did have an interception. But again, and then Joe had an interception early for LSU, but it was called back. So but when Trevon Diggs picked it off, but again, it was just LSU's year that year, and they had a great football team, no doubt about it. And they beat Alabama in a very high level game. I was there. No question. But it was poetic justice to beat the ever-loving snot out of them every year since.
Let's go out to the phone line, shall we? B. Rich is with us. Good morning, bud.
Good morning, fellas. Man, y'all about to get my blood pressure going talking about
that. Well,
I
did forget about the 22 walk-off. But again, Bryce had one arm. That was a hell of a game. Alabama should have won that game too, but Alabama has since avenged that one as well.
So why is your blood pressure on the rise?
He doesn't like Cam Newton.
Oh,
fellas, the Tua fumbled that ball. Nobody was around him.
Yeah,
if I remember, he was scrambling out.
He was.
The next thing I know, ball's on the ground.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, true.
I couldn't. Drew, the real reason I wanted to call in, fellas, I heard Drew was decked out. I stream you guys on the app, so I can't see, but I heard Drew was decked out in some Larry Bird gear today. Well, I am heading to a wedding in Indiana this weekend, and we have a Verbo in French Lick.
Ooh,
very cool, man.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm going to see if I can't find some kind of museum or Larry Bird's birthplace, or there's got to be something in that town Larry Bird related. So I heard there's a casino, so I might have to go throw a few bucks down on the table there. But I'm gonna see if I can find some Larry Bird, memory lane trips somewhere to stroll down.
Well, Larry Bird has a grandson now that's playing basketball, and he wears the number 33. But he's tearing it up right now. I mean, he's got a little bit of Bird in him.
Yeah, I've seen some video. I wasn't sure if it was actually true because there's a lot of fake stuff out there on Facebook.
Yeah,
but, is what it is. But I hope it's true. It'd be a really neat story.
I would love to see it. Hey, other thing too, I got a pre-sale code. Grabbed my Rocket City
Rocket
Classic
City
tickets yesterday, but they go on sale at 10 today. If you didn't have that pre-sale code from yesterday, they go on sale at 10 o'clock today. So, Alabama's taking on Kennesaw State. So it'll be a regular season game this year, not the exhibition. I heard my wife's got the tickets. Prices are a little more reasonable for a regular season game than they were for, I think last year's game was exhibition and everything went to charity. And I remember we didn't go because the tickets were just astronomical. Even for, the cheap seats and stuff like that. So, 10 o'clock today, man, let's pack this thing out, turn it crimson and get some people in the Rocket City watching Bama hoops.
Yeah. It's just, I'm super excited that they're coming back and that Petway will be the opponent because I think everybody loves him and what he's doing. And don't forget, he signed Caden Rickard and he's still got RJ Johnson too. So there's some local kids on that Kennesaw team as well.
It sure does. Well, listen, I'll let somebody else jump in. Y'all have a great day, man. Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Yep. Enjoy French Lick.
Yeah, Von Braun Center, Huntsville. You can get those tickets. There is a pre-sale on Ticketmaster this morning starting at 10 a.m. They are designated to the general public. So actually, I believe there was a there was a pre-sale offer, I think yesterday from 10 to 10. I think those are probably for some kind of, if you got a VIP count or something like that, however they do that. But the general public is today. So get your tickets there for the Alabama Kennesaw State game. Let's get a break in. When we come back, the only person we haven't heard from is Nick Saban. He spoke yesterday as they honored
Greg McElroy under the bus.
Good. As they honored a pair of legends yesterday.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Looking deep downfield, looking for Williams. Comes back, makes the catch, trying to split defenders. Makes them bang into each other. Stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, scores. Ryan Williams, one play, 75 yards.
Your home of the Alabama Crimson Tide is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your Your shingles, we can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
But you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com. It's time for tomorrow's headlines today with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Atlanta Braves cooled off last night by the Chicago White Sox, 13-9, the final there. So one that the Braves should not have let got away from them there. I mentioned Nick Saban last night. In Birmingham was the Nick Saban Legacy Award. And this year's recipients, David Cutcliffe and the late Pat Dye, both of which were honored last night. And obviously Nick Saban, he did meet the media. And but we'll get to that tomorrow because it's something outside of just it's his thoughts on college football as a whole and the education of kids and where we're at and all this other stuff. It's some good stuff. But during the Q&A on the stage, he was asked about coming out of retirement. Remember, Greg McElroy saying at SEC Media Days, because he wanted to make himself relevant, said that Nick Saban, he had heard from good sources that Nick Saban was going to coach again. And Nick Saban saying last night that Greg McElroy back in the day, that he would have got his ass beat if he would have said something like that back in the day. Yes. You agree? Yes. So that is
self-explanatory.
Yes, that is how he handled that. Safe to say, Nick Saban not coming back to college football. We said it all along, and we didn't give a lot of credence to the whole thing.
I mean, he's not going back to the NFL either.
But it was good, and Nick Saban, it was good. They honored David Cutcliffe, who, by the way, for those that don't remember or forget, David Cutcliffe is a Birmingham native.
No, he went to Woodlawn High School, and he signed with the University of Alabama. Got injured, but yeah, no question. I mean, he would have played for Coach Bryant, and definitely has ties to the University of Alabama and to the state, and is very well respected. And then, of course, there's probably nobody that has more skins on the wall on each side of the rivalry as a 9-year assistant at Alabama and then as a 12-year head coach at Auburn than Pat Dye.
Yeah, and Coach Saban made some remarks yesterday saying, hey, look, yes, it's Alabama. Yes, it's Auburn. But he and Coach Dye always had great respect. He's like, always great respect for each other because of their respect for the game of football. He said, yes, they had the rivalry and everything with Alabama and Auburn, but they both respected each other, and they both, it was great when they had conversations because they respected the game kind of in the same way, the game of football and college football. So
yeah, no doubt. And players on both sides of the rivalry both loved Coach Guy.
All right, there's a minute left or two. Don't forget, we had Coach Mick Hedgepeth on UAH. If you want to be a part of the Willis Acuff Golf Tournament, September 29th, 11:30 a.m., Huntsville Country Club. That's how you can be a part of that. So we want you to be a part of that. And then on September 28th, is when they are going to have their little alumni event over at Stovehouse, where they're going to bring in some former players, a little Q&A going on there. And then in October, they have the exhibition game with Alabama A&M.
And don't forget their alumni game, too.
And the alumni game. Yes, that's all part. That's in October. Gosh, darn.
A lot of big events coming up for UAH hoops.
All right, a lot of big events coming up here. Countdown continues towards the start of the high school football season. Tomorrow, we inch a little bit closer. When we do the show, we'll be just over 24 hours away from the start of a new high school football season. Hard to believe. Hard to believe. We'll start gearing up towards that, and we'll let you know where we'll be at on Thursday. Big day for us on Thursday as well. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey there, everybody. Bob Baumhauer here, letting you know that we understand that times are tough and we truly believe value matters.